Hey guys, Dan Buchan here. So really quickly, I wanted to touch up on a video that I did, I believe last week. And this video was about how to hire freelancers from Upwork to go ahead and do, the stuff for your store, the stuff for your advertising that you yourself don't know how to do. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions on how to actually, integrate your influencers with your, or not your influencers, integrate your VAs, your freelancers with your business without really revealing your password, your credit card information, all of your really personal information that you really don't want them to see. So real quick, I just want to show you exactly how you'd be able to give them access to your Shopify store, and in fact, actually give them access to exactly what you want them to have access to, right? Not like your whole Shopify store. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So you see, I'm on my Shopify dashboard. So what we would do is we'll go in here, we'll go into settings, and from settings we just go in we go into account, then we come down here. And you see right here where we have staff accounts. Now, I believe with the basic Shopify membership, you can have 2 staff accounts. But, I'm not really sure if I'm grandfathered into this old rule. But I know for a couple of my stores, I'm on, the $29 or $39 Shopify membership. But I still have 5 or 6 staff members on my account. So I might be grandfathered in. To their old rules. So I guess this is their new rule. But really, you don't really need more than 2 staff accounts. And if you did, you're probably having some success with your store, so you would be able to afford a higher payment plan with Shopify. So without further ado, again, you would go in here, you would go into settings, then you would go into account, and then you would simply go ahead and add staff account. Now here's where you would type in, their first name. So say I would type in my name, right? So we'd go Dan, then we type in Buchan, and then right here we just Dan at danbuchan.com. Right now, this is all great and good, but if you were to go ahead and just send the invite like this, you would actually be giving the this person, me in this situation, full access to your Shopify store. But say you're hiring someone to say you're hiring a VA to go ahead and fulfill your orders, right? So say you have Oberlo installed, and you're getting your drop shipping, you want to have a VA to come in and daily basically just fulfill your orders. So what you would do is you would actually go ahead, uncheck this box, and then you would come down here. You see that we have a bunch of options to actually give them, that we can actually have allow access to, right? So this is basically everything within Shopify, right? So again, let's go back to the example of having a VA that you want to fulfill your orders, right? So in the case of that situation, what I would do is I would actually go ahead and I would give my VA access to A, orders, right? B, customers, and C, probably products, inventory, and collections. Also, as well as applications, right? Because they would need to go into Oberlo and actually configure that. But other than that, they don't really have access to your home. They don't have access to your sales channels, your overviews, your navigation, your themes. They don't have access to your settings or your domains. They don't have access to, a lot of the important stuff. But, also, one thing you should do is you should really, vet this person. You shouldn't just go ahead and hire the first person that you find. You should really go in, even if you have 10 people applying to your job, go ahead and vet them, give them, a week trial to see how they do and to see if they're really loyal and faithful to you. Personally, I've had the fortune of finding only loyal freelancers who are, very, very happy to work with me, who are very loyal to my business and to my company, to my brand, and, who really put in 100% of their effort. So it's really, really easy to find these people because, again, if you were to go ahead and go back to the video that I recorded earlier explaining how to actually find these freelancers, and you were to use the system that I use with the, IQ test and with describing the job descriptions very simply, you'd actually get a much higher higher concentration of better freelancers, right? Because you'd be able to really weed out the ones who are just sending you a copy and paste reply versus the ones who are actually going in and reading and actually passionate about trying to work for you and trying to land that job. So again, it's very, very simple. I'm not going to waste your time anymore here. Actually, I have one more thing to say. So this is really how to give them access to your Shopify store, right? After you do this, you would press send invite, etc. But say, you have an Instagram account or you use some online tools that are third party that aren't affiliated with Shopify. They're really, unless, you're able to actually create a manager's account within them, what you would do is you would really just go ahead and basically just change your password to something very easy, something very simple. But I would just make sure that you have a backup plan. So like say that you have like for Instagram, I use this platform called Instagress, which basically goes in and comments and likes and other people's photos automatically for me, so I don't really have to do that and worry about that. So it basically engages with my target audience. So if I were to give one of my freelancers, one of my virtual assistants access to that, I would literally just go in and change the password. But the benefit of that is that I have my email on the back end, right? So if I actually wanted to go ahead and say the VA didn't work out, right, and they tried to override my authority basically by changing the password, something like that, I'd be able to go in and just recover the password simply through my email. Right, so it's very, very simple. I would just recommend going in and changing your password, also keeping different passwords for different freelancers, right, and also keeping that organized. So you would have, say you have a virtual assistant to fulfill your orders, any tool that he would use or she would use, you would have one password for, right? Say you had a social media marketer that also, logged into your Instagram, logged into all these Instagram tools that you use, you would have a separate password for him or her as well. So again, I would just recommend, changing your passwords to something that you don't use for your personal accounts, and also keeping them organized so you can just in case you need to go ahead and change anything, you have those passwords right there. A third thing is something that I learned recently about is called two-factor authentication. Now, I'm not too familiar about how that works. You should definitely go ahead and do your own research on that, but it was recommended to me by someone who uses virtual assistants on a daily basis, and he said that just through two-factor authentication, they're able to keep their same passwords and really just give the freelancer, a 6-digit code that they can use to enter through that two-factor authentication. The best part is they never know your password, and you can also change that 6-digit code anytime you want. So I believe that's how that works. I might be mistaken. Please don't hate me if I am. I really haven't done too much research about this. I literally found out about this the other day. But it's definitely something worth looking into. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in hiring freelancers and really outsourcing your business and giving yourself more time to to learn more about, say, advertising, or learn more about creating new stores, etc., just basically free up your time, this is a very, very great method, and I would personally highly recommend freelancers. They are amazing and really, really help you, again, free up your time. So, with that, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found, anything useful in this video, if you've learned something new, do me a favor, drop me a like, drop me a comment. It really helps a lot, and it really motivates me to create more YouTube videos, to create more awesome content for you guys. So, thank you so much for watching. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next video.